Hiya, teacher friends. Today I'd like to talk about getting dressed for your iTalki class. Like, what should we wear as teachers? I'd like to tell you about my experience, but I particularly would like to hear your experience. And I want to hear the opinions and views of my viewers on YouTube. How should you dress for your iTalki class? So first of all, let me talk about my own story. I began on iTalki, and I don't want to say I took it seriously as if I don't take it seriously now, but I showed up like you would show up for any first day of work. Like I had a manager breathing down my neck, and I showed up with proper attire, a proper shirt, probably just like this one right here, right? And this is what I define as proper. um, I didn't show up with a tie. I didn't show up in some sort of like overcoat. It was just something like this, yeah? And this is how I dressed for the first month or two. And after that, I got used to teaching online and I felt comfortable. I felt very comfy and cozy in my office. So I began wearing sweaters. I began wearing, I don't know if it ever came to like t-shirts, but I definitely wore hoodies. Even last summer in Ireland, yeah, the summers could be a little bit chilly as well on the Atlantic coast. But yeah, I was still wearing hoodies, and of course, the bottom half doesn't really matter because most teachers are wearing track pants anyway. Now, this could make it even more difficult to get yourself to put on a dress shirt because I know some people don't like to do that. The fact that you're wearing something that's comfy, cozy, it could be shorts or a sweatpants in your bottom half. So it could be tough to kind of get yourself wearing something more formal for the top half, right? But I really began doing this. I would wear kind of semi-formal sweaters, maybe just blank sweatshirts or striped sweatshirts for a lot of my classes throughout last winter. But then this year, when I raised my price on iTalki, I realized that I really have to look the part. And that's when I decided to actually make a conscious effort to wear a dress shirt every single day. And that's what I've done ever since probably March or April when I really jacked up my prices. So for me, I have gotten some feedback from students. So usually I ask my students, why did you book a lesson on iTalki? Sometimes my students interpret that question to mean, why did you book with me? And they will tell me, I booked with you, because you're Canadian, because you teach IELTS prep, because you seemed friendly, blah blah blah. But I have seen I have experienced a few people actually tell me, because you look like a professional teacher, yeah. And I mean, I know that they are paying for the teacher and the service. They're not just paying for the image and the identity. But some people argue that these two things are interchangeable and they go hand in hand. Um, and for me, I could say confidently that wearing a button-up shirt versus a t-shirt could make a difference. I don't know how large of a difference it will make, but especially if you're a professional teacher and you want to market yourself that way, it definitely could make a difference. Now, for me as a student, what have I experienced in the attire? Honestly, it's hard to even think because I really have to dig deep to remember because I mean, for me, that's not really what I'm looking for. Unless if something really kind of jumps out at me, I don't really look to see like to judge what my teachers are wearing. But I could tell you with full confidence, I've seen a lot of hoodies, right? I've seen a lot of hoodies. I've definitely seen t-shirts as well. Aside from that, I've seen quite a few people wear, the semi-formal attire, just respectable, so something that you'd probably wear to work if you're working in an office or something like that. Look, I think that comfort is very important. And I wear this because I feel comfortable in it. In fact, a lot of my shirts have different graphics and they're colorful. When I wear this, I feel happier. Yeah. It just makes me feel happier than to wear something that is that's a little less colorful, that's a little like dimmed down, right? That's my style, right? And that just happens to align with the expectations of my students and a lot of students on iTalki. So thankfully they go together. I think that your comfort as a teacher is really important. I think the comfort of your students are really important. And sometimes they are expecting, they feel more comfortable in the hands of somebody who looks more quote unquote professional. So I mean, it is definitely a give and take, right? And even when I've been teaching in person, I've experienced, teachers in Thailand who were expected to abide by a sometimes strict dress code. Um, but some of them actually had tattoos, and like how they'd have to deal with tattoos and how they'd have to deal with their appearance in general. I mean, we were all coached on how we should look and how we should prepare for classes. On iTalki, there's no kind of rule book. And I'd really like to know from my viewers, like what you wear, how you dress. For me, you're looking at it. This is pretty much the kind of thing I wear every day. It's basically a button-up shirt with one graphic or another, different print in different colors, usually two different shades, like you see here. Um, and that makes me feel great. A lot of my students are very kind of like they know that's my style, they know that's my thing, right? Hey, if you like black, if you like white, if you like whatever colors you like, I'm sure as long as it reflects your personality and also perhaps the types of students that you are hoping to attract as well, because I mean, there are going to be students who are looking for people who have very progressive personalities, and stepping outside the box and wearing your own, inventing your own style, that could actually be a good way to attract certain people. But of course, there are different size markets for different teachers and different identities, and I would say with pretty good confidence, what I would say with total confidence actually, that if you wear a dress shirt, it could definitely for if you wear dress shirts, then that could definitely increase your chances of attracting students, especially at the get-go. So I might be wrong. I'd love to hear from all of you. So please throw down your comments in the box below. I'm no expert in this field, but I know that iTalki affords us an excellent opportunity to have our own agency, our own control over what we wear and what we look like to a certain extent, which a lot of us don't get as teachers in actual institutions. Yeah, so let me know what you think, and I'd be happy to interact in the chat box below. All right, so that's my 2 cents. Until next time, keep smiling.